Grace Bazanya is an ardent lover of trees working at the National Agricultural Research Organization's Research Institute in Mukono. His organization is undertaking research on tree species lined up in different categories at their ecotourism site.
Now here where we are standing, this is a single stand of Eucalyptus grandis. In Uganda it is called the Calitons. Yeah, we are trying to look at the growth both in height and in diameter. When you take something to a farmer, the farmer needs to understand it. How long does it take to grow? Because he has something specific, maybe he wants timber or he wants poles.
Araucaria Kaningamai also has its own stand.
Maybe the person who introduced it was called the Cunningham. They are the same age with the eucalyptus adjacent, but this one is a bit slow growing.
Despite this, they are of higher value than eucalyptus.
It has very good timber and it has plywood of higher class.
Indeed, trees reach their full size after about 30 to 100 years. To most, however, full size is what pleases the customers.
You see, when you are a farmer and you plant your food, say cassava, and you are hungry, you will not allow it to mature. You can eat the cassava roots when they are very small. That means you have to harvest very many plants. But if you allowed it to mature, you can just eat one root and it will be enough, you see. So they do cut because we don't have now enough trees for timber.
This is partly blamed on the government for not providing tree seedlings to residents.
In fact, I appreciate the agroforestry in Kenya because everyone was planted trees on his plot. But here, people think of going to steal in forests. Yeah. And the forests now are depleted almost. We have no forests.
Factors like urbanization with constant population growth, construction with a high demand for timber are responsible for deforestation.
The rate at which reforestation is taking place is very slow.
Is there anything that threatens its growth?
Since the establishment of this, I have not come across any problem. The only problem is management.
Management requires that they get pruned regularly.
As it grows, we reduce them so that the ball, this one we call the ball, or the stem, becomes clean. So in the end, you'll get no scar inside the timber, the real wood.
Despite the proximity to the eucalyptus tree, which is affected by a dangerous pest, the wasp, Kaningamai is resistant.
Maybe termites. They can destroy your plantation.
Not as grievous as is with the eucalyptus.
Continue,
Enough of Kaningamai, next single stand as Prunus africana.
In Uganda, it's called the intercessor. It is of high medicinal value. It cures prostate cancer.
You know that for a fact?
Yes.
Most grow it commercially for this purpose, obviously for timber as well.
The problem is that with this high clearance of forested land, it is getting depleted. So what we are trying to do is to encourage people to grow them on their land.
It is indigenous in the country, growing in natural forests like Bamira.
So you've been talking of the mixture.
Yes, we have been telling you that we have mixed stands. In mixed stands, the other one we had the single stands. These are mixed stands where we are looking at individual trees. If I plant a tree, which one is growing faster than the other? Because I hope that one is the one you would prefer. These other indigenous trees, mostly they take 30 years, majority of them. But these introduced ones, from 20 onwards, you will get timber.
This is to clearly demonstrate to the public that some trees grow faster than others.
The general public has a view that we researchers are biased. We promote exotic trees other than promoting our indigenous trees.
The exotic trees are not indigenous to this place. Some were brought in from outside the tropics.
Like these pines you see, like these araucarias you see, So you see they are growing, they are conical, which means they come from temperate lands where there is snow. But our trees here, they grow with huge crowns because they are here in the tropics. Yes.
So in a way they are better. Exotics are better than indigenous.
Here you find that not all exotics, because what we have found out that Araucaria tends to be suppressed, but then the terminalias, especially Superba and the Ivorensis, for them they are proved to grow more faster than the indigenous.
So to this researcher, if it has good quality and grows faster, then farmers who have no time to wait for the indigenous type ought to grow it.
Now, this tree is called Grevillea robusta. She's about 7 years. But you can see almost fading to, when I hold it, I think by next year my hands will not be meeting. So it is one of the best trees that we are promoting, that grow very fast and it produces very good timber. It is also good in that when its leaves drop down, they fertilize the soil.
It is also good for firewood, one of the best. Another type of tree known as the Indian teak that is resistant to termites grows very slow, especially in wet areas, but does well in northern parts of the country as well as in Sudan.
It is very good to use as slabs.
These latrines.
The latrines, yeah.
The Movole tree, Uganda's oldest, takes about 100 years to fully mature, so it is advised that it gets planted with fast-growing trees like Alcaria.
This one takes time. I told you to mature about 100 years. The other one is about 30. You have, by the time you harvest the other one, this one will be of a good size.
And it's now up to you, the farmer or tree lover, to decide what to go with. The experts have elaborated the different species that are resistant to disease, grow fast and bigger, and those that ably adapt to climate change.
Look at the other ones in the mixed stand and this single stand, and we compare the growth.
Florence Naluyimba, NTV, Eco Talk.
That's how we carry out research.